Hello, this video is not sponsored. I bought this Pantasy brand with a P bakery modular set, which comes with 2,662 pieces. Its retail price is $110 US, but I got it off Amazon for $90. The form factor here is a full 32 by 32 studs, so width by depth, the standard size that you would expect, but this is built on a plate rather than a base plate, so it doesn't adhere to the old legacy standard. It's more like the what has become the modern standard for how to build buildings like this. This does not come with any figures, which I think is perfectly fine because folks only want one certain type of figure and no other company can make those. And there is a fully detailed interior, which you can access by removing individual floors. And of course, I will show you that as we go along. Anything that you see that's a decorated brick or decorated piece is printed. There are no stickers in this whatsoever. And let's get into just the details that are here. So there's a small little coffee shop off to the side here. Obviously, the entire main floor is dedicated to bakery, but you just have a coffee shop off to the side, which also has this interesting little door over here. It's kind of just access for us huge figures to be able to see the interior just a little bit better without having to take any of the floors off. So you can see some of the machinery over here on the side, which you're starting to get just a little bit of a hint of how this company does its small details. Interesting little partial like half doors, little flaps off to the side for access over there, which I'm assuming would be used by staff to bring food out to folks on the outside. Double doors over here, got a nice little fountain in the front. Small bits of foliage around, so they didn't put a whole lot into taking away depth from the front of the building or narrowing it in from the side, so you don't have a large alleyway over here. You know, the building itself does take up quite a lot of the plate itself, but they still got in, you know, some nice small details and differences of color as well. I like the balance of dark colors versus light. You know, you've got a lot of the dark brown here, a lot of the dark green as well. Again, more windows to really let you see inside. So you got the little store section of it over here. And coming around the back, well, that's an indication of what's going to be on the second floor. So this is intended to be the access for the gym, but the gym is all the way up, and you'll see how you can get access from the inside as well. More suggestions of how this company approaches detail in general on the outside. So you do have the full fire escape here, but it's done with a minimal number of pieces and again, not taking up a whole lot of space. They do add in little cutesy details just for the heck of it that don't need to be there, like the cat that's over here interested in probably not the water itself, probably something that's hiding beneath the drainage grill there. A little mouse or something is just what's in my mind. Or it could be that it's going for the butterfly and it's just a little bit poor posing right there. You've got the drain pipe here, which goes all the way up to the roof. It's not fully connected in between, but pretty close. A little suggestion of a small HVAC unit there. And with that, let's go ahead and start looking at the interior by removing the entire upper floors. And as you can see, that comes off easily. Now look at how open most of this floor is. It's definitely designed to have access for figures to be able to walk around, the standard figures that we're familiar with. So you've got room for figures to walk around the aisles and even around the thinner spots. The only thing that's missing here is any sort of stud usage on the main floor. There are a couple of studs back here behind the counter to put an attendant back there, but otherwise you don't have any spaces to make figure feet get actually attached to it. But yeah, I mean, I personally really like just how accessible all of this is, with the one exception really just being the inside portion of the back room over here, the kitchen. So, you know, it's just a dark area and doesn't have any other panels that can be pulled off. It also has tall walls. There's a nice amount of detail for what is depicted there on both sides. And as you can see, there's a fully studded surface there because they just did not put any tiles in this space. Here's a better look at the main register and ordering area with a small display case there, some small details on the wall, and then a full menu board. So this is actually doubled up. There we go. So it's the same thing on either side, and you can see that you use a couple of prints there. It's effective, you know, good use of the space. And again, just a couple of studs down there on the floor for an attendant to be there, an employee to be there. And then one booth over here. with the studs on the seats so you can put figures there. And there's the little coffee machine, little dispenser. So that also has a single stud there for an employee to be sitting there for, just a quick little takeout for folks who don't want to come all the way in. The other side of the space has this whole aisle. Thankfully, this can be removed so we can see it more easily. So once again, printed piece up here for the decoration. Got some bagged items on the end. And yeah, that's that. And I'd say the biggest disappointment of this space is just that there aren't different colors of breaded items in the middle. Incidentally, the light gray color of the floor is probably not the light gray that you're familiar with, which would be this over here, what we typically call light bluish gray, the modern light bluish gray. This is actually lighter than that. So it's a light gray. Like I mentioned, from the outside, this is the access to get to the second floor. You can also get there from inside of the bakery itself. And they've just got the stairs there, which take you up to here. And once again, this is all done as one thing that you can just attach. Now, this floor does not go all the way to the front. You can see underneath there, it has basically a mezzanine setup. So you've got this banister here. People who are in the gym can be getting the smells directly from the airspace of the bakery. So as they work off some of the calories that they probably put on from visiting the bakery in the first place, they will be enticed to come buy more. It's a cycle. It's not irony. It's a cycle. It's just it's a business that's been set up. It's probably all owned by the same person, or at least the same family. Once again, you can see, even though this is a smaller space, it does still have accommodations for figures to be posed around, walking around. It's not a cramped space. And yet it does have nice details, good consistency between the color schemes of the different pieces of equipment. Really nice little treadmill right there with the printed console on it. Got the exercise bike over here, which is a nice, simple, small build. Got a heavy bag back here in the corner, which is able to just swing back and forth a little bit. The water cooler over on the side, well, water cooler and heater. And you can see some of the printed tiles that are used. This is the employees' space back here, with a printed tile for, let's see if I can get that to focus as well. Can we? Yeah, there we go. Printed tile for the computer screen. The small details just on the side, little counter there. And then you've got the bench here with some extra weights down on the ground and a rack of dumbbells. And that's it. I wouldn't mind having more equipment here, but I would mind having less space for figures to be, my own figures to be posed around that I would put in here. So I actually think this is a pretty good compromise between level of detail and access, both for the figures and for me. I can get my fingers into all these spaces, and most of this is studded space, but back here is not. So this is, once again, one area where you don't have any studs on the ground for feet. Here's the final fully walled in floor segment. Fits right there. And the gym level has the balcony for this floor built into it, just part of how the structure and size of it worked out. I do wish that the edging here was a little bit taller, because that doesn't look safe for the figures. I worry about the figures, wanting to look down and then just... So yeah, they could have done a little bit better there. But also, this does not have any studs out here, so that's even more of a fall hazard, because they're not going to be able to stand up. But it is a nice tiled pattern out here. Well, there's one stud. There's one stud for the Chihuahua, who is longingly looking towards the table over here. No chair for that. They don't really give you a chair that you can bring out to the balcony. So I think just things here could have been done a little bit better, including also doing something nice for the handle of the door. The windows are done just fine. Got a little bit of decorative, ornamental detail up towards the top. I haven't really looked at the exterior that much, but they do change they don't have repetition in the styling between the different floors. This floor down here had just a little bit of suggestion of foliage around it. And again, they've continued to bring the green up all the way from the ground, just little bits of it. Does this make sense here particularly? Not necessarily, but kind of imagine that there's a little bit of buildup of dirt and dust and soil there. That's a seed has taken root in, and then it's turned into a vine like this. And I guess there's enough humidity in this space. I don't know. You do have to use your imagination a little bit there, but it is nice to have the breakup of color, because otherwise, without things like that, the colors they're earthy, but kind of plain, especially if you have an area like this. Like that looks very plain. And this over here looks blocky as well. I do like the different shape of the window here, and it's nice to get lots of window access to be able to see in from the outside, even when you're not taking the floors off. But I'm just looking at, the overall effect of this as more floors get stacked up. So I think it has a decent amount of exterior detail. I think the interior is done better balance-wise. Now this apartment is set up like a studio flat, so no doors except for the restroom. I'll have to take things off a little bit to show you the inside of the restroom a little bit better. But this is the bed area, nice and luxurious looking, painting up above that. And once again, more tiled, more printed tiles, including a little bit of the branding of the company itself. Nice little case over here, bookcase, curio case. It actually has details on the inside of it as well on the shelves, but it's difficult to get these doors open. There we go. Use a tool for that. There's just some bottles of different colors in there. I don't know what that exactly represents. Small plant down here on the ground and a little comfy seat. Again, no studs in there. Painting up on the wall and access to the fire escape. And finally, just a little kind of office desk with a single chair that can be rotated around. Now I'm going to pull the whole floor off to show you the restroom better. So there's the context for where it is and how you get into it. And inside, no print for the decoration, the wall decoration there. Maybe it's supposed to represent a mirror, but it's just a plain piece. So sink on that side. There's the toilet and just a little toilet paper off to the side. No shower or anything. And finally, the roof slots on here. Interestingly, this has one other segment of it that can be removed to get you better visibility of the space under here, which honestly, I don't fully understand. If you understand what's going on here, do let me know. So it's a green roof. That's nice, again, for the splash of color. Does this represent an old dead tree? Is that what that is? And then you've got these eyeless seagulls up here that are kind of swarming around, but I don't know what that is. Is that just a sculpture? It's nice, little golden Technic ball end piece there. A couple of small topiaries over here, or shrubberies, and this is your access from the final the final pathway that minifigures can get up there. But I mean, I guess this is okay. It's just I don't understand it. And then you get a little bit more height here, which also helps to shape the look of the whole building from the outside. Just has the antennas up top and some finial details for just, kind of shaping it as viewed from a distance. Nice additional parts used out here to, once again, break up the colors as well as the shaping of it. So you get some round in there. But yeah, the net effect of it all is good. It's just, to me, a little bit weird, the specific details that were used. These are all the parts I had left over. I have to admit, these two tiles on the left had me concerned that I had missed something, but I couldn't find anything that I had missed. And they use a pink printed brick separator piece, and that's it. For anyone unfamiliar with this company, this is how they do their instructions. It's very, very standard fare, nothing unusual there. Maybe a little bit more compact in terms of how many steps they'll put on a single page, so they're not wasting as much paper as usual. They do give you access to digital versions of their instructions, but you do have to send in proof of purchase in order to get that. I think they'll email it to you, which is weird. It's an anti-theft measure. They don't want other companies to be able to easily steal their products and their designs, but any company could just buy the set and then legitimately get the instructions. I don't know. I think it would be better if they would just put the stuff out there for everybody to download easily. Again, the retail price of this is $110 US, but I have not seen it available to purchase for that. It's always had a discount on it every time that I've seen it in the months that I've seen it on the market. And that's for 2,662 pieces. So I think that the value here, especially considering that this is a full 32 by 32 style of modular building that uses up quite a bit of its plate, I think the value here is very, very, very good. One thing that I did not talk about in this video is quality of the parts, because this company uses GoBricks. GoBricks is the manufacturer of the parts. And people who know GoBricks know that they make some of the best bricks in the world, period. pretty darn good consistency, nice density. You can feel the weight, good clutch power. So it's just not an issue for me. If the quality is good enough that it's not an issue, I'm just really not going to pay much attention to it. I'm not going to talk about it much because it's really not something to talk about. And that's definitely the case here. And at the end of the day, I feel good about this. It feels very cozy to me. I like the visual balance throughout. When I start to get in closer, I can definitely nitpick at things, but I have to try to do that. Overall, I just feel good about it. Overall, I just like it. I like the colors. I really, really like the fact that it doesn't try to pack too much in here. It doesn't try to do too much, but it does a lot. It does plenty. And obviously there's a lot of stuff here. The volume of stuff is very, very good. The fact that it doesn't come with minifigures is not an issue for me because again, I know that most people want to see minifigures that look like this, and only one company can make minifigures that look like this. So yeah, it's fine. Get your own minifigures, from whatever brand that you want. And this is ready for them. The only thing that's off about it relative to an old standard is the fact that it does use a plate for the base down here, all the way at the bottom. But another thing that I did not mention is that I actually like the fact that it uses just one single plate because it's strong. Now, when you do have a single plate, it does cause a little bit of warping just towards the edges. You can see it kind of lifts up a little bit. That's just something that's going to happen by virtue of physics with how clutch power works on the undersides of the pieces that are attached to it. But it just feels good to me to be able to pick this up in one part. And well, it's that, right? It's holding itself together. It doesn't have different sections that are going to come apart. Like it's just very, I don't know, very comfortable to own. And then even the fact that the floors are as large as they are means that I can do something like this. I can have it partially on the side, which some modular buildings you can't do that with because you'll have a section over here that'll start to pop off, start to separate. So just the whole thing. I try to be critical of it, and I couldn't come up with a whole lot bad to say about it. I enjoyed it while putting it together. Probably the single worst thing about it is that it doesn't use a whole lot of advanced techniques. So if all you care about is the most advanced techniques, you might be a little bit disappointed here. That's really the worst thing that I can come up with to say about it. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video provided some value to you. And if you enjoy my non-sponsored independent content, you can help me out at no cost to you by using affiliate links down in the video description. If you make any kind of purchase, it doesn't have to be the specific item that you're looking at. I'm not trying to hawk anything. I'm not trying to push anybody to buy something. But if you're going to go make a purchase, consider using an affiliate link, and that'll give me just maybe a tiny, tiny little commission that ultimately helps me to keep the lights on and keep building more products to review for you. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.